Welcome to another firearms and safety YouTube channel. Today what we'll be doing is we'll be going over these three classes of firearms for the main purpose of how you're going to get started to conceal carry. In this picture frame here that you're seeing, everything top to bottom is actually what you'll need to conceal carry in regards to your firearm, your holster, your belt, and then some unique aspects such as your Fanny Pack carry, and then we also have the Filster Enigma, which we'll go over. By the time we're done with this video, you'll have a good understanding as to what you'll need and what you should start looking into. But also, I just want to post a disclaimer, nothing here will work for everyone. And this includes the firearm hosts here. This basically means that because of ergonomics and because of such great variety in the shapes and sizes of people, this is what works for me personally. And this is ultimately what I have personal experience with. Now, I can speak on a couple other brands, things that I've heard about, but again, your mileage will vary as greatly as people vary one from another. So moving on, let's just start on with the these hosts right here, the weapon hosts. Right here, you're looking at a P365. This is just a standard one, regular. I have had a couple modifications, flashlight, and the red dot. You keep the red dot if you want. I think that it's important for the red dot. This is actually cut for, this slide was cut specifically for the RMRCC. I don't think I'll be moving forward with the flashlights. I like offhand flashlights a lot better. They have a lot more utility. And then also, if you really just think about it, if you're lighting up the front end of your gun and there's a bad guy looking at you, he's gonna know right where you are. So you're kind of highlighting your own position. Whereas if you have something that's offhand carry, you could hold it at an 11 o'clock position with your hand up in the air while having this firearm pointed, and someone looking at that would see, they could shoot at the light, but they're not going to, they have a smaller chance of actually hitting you or inflicting a significant amount of damage. So they would just get your hand in that case. Moving on, this is, again, compact, smallest option. You're going to get a lot of snapback with this, and mainly because it's so small and light, there's not much mitigating the larger 9mm round. We'll talk a little bit about the difference between these three classes. This is the traditional sense. A lot of people used to just carry compact or a full size, and that was it. We've moved on now to kind of like this in-between class and then the subcompact, and for good reason. And ultimately, I feel like the market required this just because these guns are too snappy. They want the shootability, but also something that's relatively thick. I mean, thin rather. This is about an inch, like just over an inch thick, this particular firearm. And if you look at your subcompact, it is also very similar. I believe it's the same, if not just under an inch. Now, comparatively speaking, let's experiment here. This is unloaded, as everything is here. No mags, no nothing, so I'm going to have at it a little bit. If you look at these three firearms, you could tell which is significantly thicker. Really, it's very obvious that the Glock 19 is thicker in almost every way. Just for anyone that wants to dispute that, just look to the full-size optic. Here, this is a full-size 507C. Everything else is a K model or something that's very, very small. And you can see that the whole gun might be about an inch, give or take, thick. I do have some capillars. I could measure this, but that'll be for another video. So basically, you've got your compact, you've got your in-between, and you've got your sub-compact. But yeah, the interesting thing about these is like they're not too much different in regards to overall size. However, it does make a significant difference in regards to shootability. This one, the one underneath, has that compensator, or these two expansion slots. That significantly reduces recoil, and it also has that longer slide, which adds mass, which makes it a little bit more, or just softer shooting in general. So this is a fantastic firearm. I really like it, and it does give you that slim profile similar to the subcompact, but when you look at the length, it's just under that traditional compact size. So might even fit the same profile if we're looking at it. However, it's just significantly slimmer, means it's easier to carry up against your body. All right. So that covers the compact, that kind of in-between size, the subcompact, the in-between size, and then this is the compact. Trusty Glock 19, obviously it's empty. Basically, this is what I carry in the winter, or I'll use for my home defense needs. However, I really trust this gun. I like this gun. People, if you shoot a Glock 19 well and you like it, there's nothing wrong with carrying this at all. I would perhaps recommend even the Glock 19X, which has that full-size grip, but it has the same slide length, the same barrel length as the Glock 19. So you just get a little bit bigger handle. And the reason why you'd want that is mainly because when your adrenaline's pumping, you really are going to have a difficult time gripping at this small grip. Not too many people are in these situations all the time, and adrenaline is a real thing. So you're going to have a difficult time gripping a smaller grip, than you would gripping a larger grip. And these two fall under that larger grip. But I would say that's kind of the main thing to know about concealed carrying these weapons. And I would basically, at this point, I feel we're ready to move on to the different type of holsters that we're looking at. So I'm gonna put these to the side, and then we will go through the holsters and how they are, really how they accommodate those weapon hosts. Here you have a belt, and that's what I'll start with. This belt here is a Blue Alpha belt. It's like 30 bucks. This is the Warrior Poet Society version. But I do like how this gives me a significant amount of room. And more importantly, the nice thing is you can wear this with a t-shirt. There's two kinds of belts, really. There's traditional belts, which are just, the 2-inch thick or 1.75-inch thick belts, which are nice, if you're going to church on Sunday. But if you have a t-shirt on, you're going to basically donut. And that just means that you'll have your profile, and then you'll just have this thick belt that kind of sticks out, and it looks like you're wearing a hula hoop. And this is where these kinds of belts come in to play. This was about like 34 bucks, I think, or 29 bucks. And I like it. Basically, I'll cycle through it once a year. But the good thing about it is that the profile is thin, right? So it could fit on very, very quickly and easily. However, when it comes to the rigidness of this, it's very, very rigid, which is exactly what you want, because when you're pulling a holster, right, even if it's thin, if you're pulling up on a holster, right, and obviously this wouldn't move around because this is up against your body, but if you're pulling up on a holster, you're going to want that rigidness. You don't want something that's flexible like a drawstring. That's going to allow you to get the firearm out of there. But again, this is very useful, and I really enjoy this belt very much. Now, this is if you're going to inside the waistband carry. There's another YouTube channel. It's about the Filster Enigma. They have a fantastic amount of content that's solely based on how to really get started with this, but it's just a lot more advanced, like tips and tricks. They talk about peaks and valleys of your body, and really where you'll be able to conceal weapons the best. So I would definitely take a look at that video. But yeah, that's your belt. You're going to need one if you're going to carry one on your waistband. The next kind of belt, or excuse me, the next kind of, or just moving on in general, I'm just going to cover the Filster Enigma. holster, which is actually, it's not a traditional holster. It's not a fanny pack. However, so you don't really use that belt on the holster method. It's something that's in between. And there's a number of systems out there like this. And while I do enjoy this system, I like it. I will say that you have to do a lot of research before you buy it. It does stick out, a little bit, but not too much. If you have a long shirt on, here I've got the little band, and it, connects all together. And then the thing that I really hate about it is the leg leash. And this leg leash will just ride up your leg, which till it basically makes it very uncomfortable. This is a different clip than the one that they provide. I actually bought this separately, but the problem with this, just any of these clips is it just rides up your leg. The one that they come stock, it's a push, so you'll find that you'll just be, moving about your day, and then your body, it'll push up against your body, and then the leg leash comes apart. And so you have to go somewhere and find out how to get that leg leash back on you. I could take this part off, but the plastic kind of sticks out, so we kind of have this. But, even then, it's not quite excellent. I do have the pad here, and then I also have this this another pad, mainly because it's just connected to Velcro. Mainly because this isn't always the most comfortable. In fact, I might even take this off and just see how it feels. But again, having that hard Kydex up against, your squishy bits is not always a good time. So I do like these pads. These are separate, and comes from Klinger holsters. Basically, they'll give you a little pack of these. See these little circular ones? They'll give you a little pack of those. Slap this on the back of any Kydex holster, and bam, you have something like this. But yeah, this is the in-between option, in between the fanny pack, in between your traditional holster. And they do have there's another of other companies that have this idea. This is great for sweatpants carry, shorts. I love carrying this with shorts. But again, if that leg leash kind of slides down your leg, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm actually still looking for a solution where I can wear sweatpants. I hear Arrowhead Tactical is a good one. There's Leisure Carry, which looks very promising. But yeah, there's, I really feel like there's just a handful of options out there, and probably one of the most comfortable ways to carry, though, if I have to admit. And yeah, once you get everything set up, it is actually kind of costly. Putting it on and taking it off is very easy. So the Filster Enigma, this is a light-bearing holster specifically for the P365, which has that light on it. And it's got the red dot, which actually kind of works against it when you're looking at doing some sort of concealed carry. So overall, that's what your profile looks like. And yeah, I think that this is good in the summer. Yeah, I would like to make it thinner, so I might remove some of these options. However, if you do remove these options, you are also removing some padding against your, again, squishy bits. So that's kind of the setup for this. So moving on, we'll just go to traditional outside the waistband holsters. That will again go onto the belt. This is for a Glock 19. However, I do have the flashlight on here, and this was just like a gun show pickup, or I can't even remember where I got this. But basically, outside the waistband, it'll sit on your belt. This could be at your 3 o'clock, however you want. Your 3 o'clock. If this was, you're north and you're facing this direction, from an above the view, obviously. So you could do your 3 o'clock, you do 4 o'clock. Some people do 1 o'clock. Although that makes it tough to like bend forward. But this is nice if you're in the yard. If you are in a free state, it just really helps. Also, you have the clips and the O-rings to kind of, if you want to cant it any direction, you very well can. And outside the waistband is probably the most simple. This was kind of like something that I just cut and shaved down myself. But I will say that I do like sheep wools or sheep wool in order to cover this. Like, you can actually cover this whole thing in like sheep wool. So it'll be very soft, and I might even do that with a Filster Enigma. So this is your traditional outside the waistband carry. And that'll bring us over to the inside the waistband carry. Showed you this earlier. This is from Quick Lock Holsters. It has a little bit of a cant to it in regards to adjustability. But this was one of my first holsters. And here you have a clinger pad, another one. I really enjoy this holster. It's just done so well for me. And particularly why is because this is a X400, which has a laser on it. And it will not fit in any X300 holsters, so you have to get a custom X400. Well, no one makes one, so that's kind of a problem. So you got to get a, I had to get this custom, which is fine. I really love how this retains, and I had to melt away some of this for the red dot. Actually, a lot of this for the red dot because I didn't have the red dot at the time. And this is a Brownell's slide, or Brownell's Glock 19 slide. And basically, this is what... again, I like to carry this in the winter, but this is going inside of the waistband. So again, if you're carrying it at 3 o'clock, here's the belt is around here. Let's just get the actual belt out here so you get the visuals, right? So inside the waistband, 3 o'clock. Here you can do your 4 o'clock, right? If you're lefty, basically you would just have to get a different holster. Or you could, some people flip it, or, other ones have options. So it would go like this. You go your 3 o'clock, your 4 o'clock over here. But this is again, inside the waistband holster. Just your typical Kydex, which is actually pretty nice if you throw a little pad on it. So shout out to Quick Lock Holsters. He's a veteran out in Alaska. And yeah, he's a fantastic guy if you ever get a chance to speak with him on the phone. Very knowledgeable, and he can make pretty much anything you want. Moving on, we have basically the P365s holsters. These are inside the waistband. And yeah, these are the more commonly used ones. And let's take a look here. Got this, and then we have our P365. All right, shoving that garbage to the side. P365. So nice slim profile. This has DCC clips. You do want this wing for inside the waistband carry, mainly because what it does is this will push it up against, if you look at what's happening right now, just on my fingers are the belt, right? This is your inside, because this is the inside of the holster. If you look at this, I'm pushing through, right? But when this pushes against my thumb, look at what it does. It cants it this way. And that's what you want. You want your grip kind of tilted more into you, so then you'll be able to conceal better, as opposed to having your grip pointing out, it's sticking out through your shirt. So these are DCC clips, which stand for discrete carry clips. I like them, but they're super hard to get on and off. But one of the advantages of that is that it's not coming off. So that's a huge deal. This is a JM Customs holster. They'll make anything you need. This was for the again, the P365. Fits in there like that. And obviously this is empty. There's no ammo, so forgive me in regards to having my hand over the barrel there. And yeah, you're looking at a gun or a package a little bit bigger than a roll of duct tape. Now, the problem is practicing with this is going to get brutal, because shooting subcompacts is a difficult thing. T-Rex Arms actually has a video where he tests a bunch of subcompacts, and you can just see it tears up his hands. Shooting something like this is a lot more easy on yourself, kind of in between that compact area and that subcompact area. Now, because these have the same footprint, I want you to be aware of something when it comes to the subcompacts versus the kind of that in-between style. Basically, when you have a shorter gun, we talked a little bit about how that gun, you want that pointing in, right? Into your body. Now, if you have a shorter gun and there's less material like this, basically what'll happen is you'll get this to roll over, and that will make your grip stick out, even if you have the proper holster, right? Naturally, this will want to stick out. So there's actually a difference between this holster and this one here. This is actually made for the P365 XL, which makes the barrel a little bit longer specifically to avoid that rollover effect. And so that's why we're kind of fighting to have the firearm like this. That way you have your grip and all those pointy bits kind of into you, or just more towards you and your body rather than pointing out, making things look weird. Now, that's the difference. This is a P365 XL, which does fit this because it's got the same flashlight, and then also it fits this as well. So same roll of duct tape. I mean, actually this is probably a little bit better for that. You know, not too wild, nothing crazy, a little bit more, you know, but it's like, it's pretty negligible. Now the good thing is you might actually have better concealability with this, mainly because yes, the grip is bigger, but you will be able, because of that longer barrel, you'll be able to keep that canted towards you, which prevents it from coming out. And if you look at something like this, holster by Black Point Tactical, I believe it's the mini tuck, or the something wing mini tuck. It's got the leather on the side, which kind of allows you to have a little bit more of a nicer profile, bigger, a little bulkier. This is very comfortable though, but my issue with this is, look, see the holster? It's so dang short that what happens is, even though I have it on the belt, it'll actually roll over like this. Now let's say I added one of those pads, right? I could get it to fight, but the fact is look, the back is fighting to get out. And that's why you kind of want that longer barrel here, because that'll help it press against your body, which will help keep the grip towards you. Remember, more of this that's towards you rather than pointing away, the better concealability you're going to have. So let's just kind of get into this holster a little bit. And that's really the difference between the subcompact, again, reflecting the weaknesses and the strengths of each of these. The subcompact here is actually, again, the Black Point Tactical. I like this holster a lot. Again, we have DCC clips. We can make, you know, a couple adjustments if we need to. Still have that clipper. Oh, this is so old, come to think about it. Still have that clipper holster pad, which again, I would probably replace. Just take this all off and just put like some sheepskin there, or excuse me, sheep's wool, or just regular wool, because wool wicks away moisture, keeps you warm in the winter, and then keeps you dry in the summer. So it'll be a smaller footprint as well. But one of the things that I do like about it is that it covers most of the gun. I mean, you're not getting any sharp edges towards you at all. If anything, you'll just be getting this grip, and this is kind of like a rubberized grip, which I probably should replace soon. But yeah, this was my first setup, but I find that I don't wear it as much, specifically because of that rollover effect. Now, moving on, we have the last two are really the fun ones, and people really enjoy these. This is a Fanny Pack carry, and I do like the Fanny Pack carry a lot, mainly because it's inconspicuous, and we do have a saying in the community here. The saying is, concealed means concealed. Right, so if you're going to wear this, you know, don't make it print. If you're going to conceal carry, make sure that you do a number of things, which is sit in the mirror, put these on, stretch all the way as you can as far as your right and your left, and see if your gun peeks out, see if it fits, and see if anyone else can see it. Because the fact is that the general public tends to freak out when they do see firearms if they're not used to that. At least, you know, in a number of states that I'm very familiar with, and some viewers here are from. So, you know, concealed means concealed. Just, again, make sure that you are doing all angles, acting like you're bending down to pick something up, like making motions that you typically wouldn't, and that's how you're going to determine what is best for you and whether you can conceal very well and properly. And what I found is that the Fanny Pack carry is a great option. However, it's tough to find the right one. You know, this is a Galco, what's it called? A Galco, I'm trying to remember. if you look at Galco Fast Pack, so the unique thing about this and what drew me to this was that here you have your fanny pack, and then you've got a little drawstring, right? So technically speaking, pull this over, yank up on the drawstring, and this will bring your firearm right up to you. So just to demonstrate that a little bit, I'll just put this right here and kind of see how that works out. So just again, firearm right in here. Soft holster, definitely a minus. I want a hard holster in here, and I'd much rather have like a Velcro and something that I could just pull out rather than strings all over the place. And the other thing is that what this does is it requires 2 movements rather than 1, which would be just to unzip and grab, right? Or perhaps a pull tab and then you grab. While this is a pull tab, you got to do the zip first. So I'm crossing I'm righty, so I'm crossing my dominant hand, I'm yanking this up, and then it's pushing this towards me. Now it ain't even perfect, so it's not like it's coming up like perfectly as it's supposed to. Now there's a few reasons for this. I modified this, which I advise you do not do if you do not have, only because I was trying to fit this gun in there with the flashlight. So if you look at this here, I moved some of these screws, or took one out, or X, Y, and Z, but really it's supposed to be kept much like that, and then it'll come up and a little bit straighter. But really, I just don't like this mechanism too much. I think it's a little bit flimsy. It's cumbersome. Doing one motion and then yanking up and then having to grab your firearm is 3 different motions. And when as my uncle says, the monkey's on your back, as in something bad is going down, your adrenaline's pumping, it's very difficult to stay coordinated. It's very difficult to remember details. It's very difficult to even keep your breath and keep your composure. So when stuff is going down, you want to kind of just give yourself possibly as minimal number of factors as you possibly can. And so I do not, I've tested this. While I do use it from time to time, I don't recommend the Galco Fast Pack holster. And I would much rather recommend something like this. This is a Sig Rose holster, and it does have a number of pockets. Actually, let's go with, I didn't give this its proper justice. It does have front pockets, pepper spray, knife, but, and the firearm, usually keep the wallet and stuff in there. But that's the end of the Galco. Moving on back to the Sig Rose. I like this one very much. 2 little pouches in here, good amount of room. I don't like this flower, obviously, but this is something that my wife uses from time to time. And here you have a more simple design. You've actually got your a backpack. So here she puts like credit cards and stuff like that. But when you're talking about fanny pack carry, you're gonna, here her deploy method is pull open, and that's it. It's there, right? And so if I'm just demonstrating that to you and we're doing this in the first person, would be, right? So just a pull open, grab, and you're good to go. So this is a nice way to carry. I do like this holster a lot better. Obviously, if I could find a version without all the roses and stuff, I'll probably end up going to something like this that's dedicated. But one thing that you should be aware of is an upgrade that you should make to something like this. Mainly because if you have keys, junk, all this other stuff in there, what will happen is you'll be able to, you could get, the safety pulled off, and then, perhaps negligent discharge. And you don't want that. So the best way to prevent that is to always keep your trigger guard covered, no matter what. And here we're looking at, throwing in perhaps a separate holster, perhaps this very same holster. You could do a Velcro. Obviously I'd remove this part here, but you could do Velcro. A lot of people, I prefer stitch in. Stitch in is pretty nice. That way, when you are actually using this, you can pull this out real quick. Boom, grab this, and then the stitching and the Velcro here would keep this holster attached to the backside, and then you'd be able to pull this on out just fine. But again, I don't have that right now. Still working on upgrading the system. Been carrying for a long time, and still making adjustments and still finding out what works for me. And so wrapping up this video, that's really the main lesson, is that I've been doing this for quite some time, and I will tell you right now that your question is, what's the best holster for me? My answer is, you are not going to have that experience because you will find that different holsters have different jobs. And so you'll find that you'll continue as you age, as your body changes, as different needs and things like that occur. You will find that you will be drawn to some holsters for some events, perhaps this for more general tasks, something like this when you're doing like a deep conceal, maybe like carrying with your shirt tucked or something like that, or perhaps even the Filster Enigma, or one of those alternative options. These all have a place in a person's day-to-day life, and it's really just a matter of what you're doing that day, the temperature, what you're going to wear. Are you wearing shorts? Are you wearing jeans? There is no one holster that will fit all the solutions. If you find that, great, good on you. I would say, just to wrap up the video, what I would recommend is, I do like this holster from JM Customs. Keeps it slick. This is definitely very comfortable and very well built. So I recommend this highly. And I do like that Rose, or this Fanny Pack style carry. I think that the real answer would be getting two of these, removing the clips, removing this off of that, keeping this very slender, and then just putting that here, and then using another one for the purposes that this one fills here, with the clips for being inside the waistband holster, and then you can even keep that on there. So that would be my recommendation, and if I feel that covers most instances. But yeah, you might feel differently, and that's totally fine. I just, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments. But I do want you to just get out there, try some. You might make a purchase that you think is wrong, which, my first one, and then find that you're using it, because it's winter and you want to wear a hoodie and inside the waistband carry your Glock, right? So there's a number of different uses for all of these, and they each have their place. So that'll evolve over time. The answer is, there is no best holster. There are only the variety of options that fit within your lifestyle. So it has been a pleasure. Again, questions, concerns, get them on over to me, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.